Boy, it's a spectacular day for baseball in Pittsburgh on the North Shore across the Clemente Bridge. They're coming in for the Buccos and the Milwaukee Brewers on Earth Day. As Waste Management is giving away green Pirate baseball caps, recycled caps, along with T-shirts, and a great day to wear the T-shirts as the Pirates get ready to take on the Milwaukee Brewers in the final game of this 6-game homestand. Both clubs now 7-7, and Steve, a great start to the homestand. The Pirates swept the Cincinnati Reds, went 3-0, but now they've lost the first 2 games to this Brewers club.
Yeah, and it wasn't pretty either. When you don't pitch and you don't hit, that is a bad combination. Check it out. I want to call attention to that average with runners in scoring position, 304 in the wins. They were getting critical base hits when needed. The average is overall very much down, but during that good run that the Pirates had, they were getting it done when they needed to get it done.
Now, the Brewers last night, in shutting out the Pittsburgh Pirates, went with the long ball early. Ryan Braun's first inning home run. This is really all they would need. Zach Duke touched up with the 3 homers. Ricky Weeks also went deep, and later Jody Garrett, a pinch hit home run. Pirates, Steve, not pitching well the first 2 games of this series. They haven't been hitting, you mentioned that, so they need to really get it going. In the 7 losses this year, the Pirates have been outscored 65-13, so they really do kind of need to get that going. Now, as far as the lineup is concerned today, Andy LaRoche once again is out of the lineup with those back issues, so Delwyn Young is there. Ryan Church in the lineup. He's going to hit cleanup. Ryan Domit dropped down a little bit in the batting order.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed to see Ryan Church's bat in the lineup because we need a spark. He's been swinging the bat very well in limited opportunities, so hopefully that'll help.
On the mound, the guy that the Pirates could really use today to settle things down is Daniel McCutchen.
Yeah, and I think as you take a look at his numbers, he needs to establish himself inside so he keeps those Brewer batters who are very hot and very, very good hitters off that outside part of the plate where he gets most of his outs. So we'll see if he is effective inside to set everything up outside.
And he goes up against a very crafty left-hander, Randy Wolf, the veteran, who lifetime is 7-1 against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, just a so-so outing against the Nationals last time up, a 7-1 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He'll be heading out there with a lot of confidence knowing those bats are behind him.
Steve, talking about coming inside, well, a couple of pitches were inside last night. Ricky Weeks was hit by a pitch, later Ryan Domit. So is there bad blood still brewing between these 2 clubs? The Buccos and the Brewers are coming up next.
Let's go Bucks! Let's go Green!
PNC for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive, Barrel.com, definitely worth the click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
And we welcome you back to PNC Park in the Berg. The Parrot and Andrew McCutchen meeting in the outfield and doing their little routine. And then Lastings Millage joins in. How about that? A little choreographed dance. Parrot McCutchen, Parrot Millage. ready to go.
That is something else. Something else.
All right, we're ready to play ball.
You know, Greg, let's be honest. The Pirates have played 2 very lethargic ball games. They need a spark, and hopefully Daniel McCutchen can provide it.
All right, Kenny Maka's Brewers lineup is brought to you by Toyota moving forward. Ricky Weeks leads things off, and it's Carlos Gomez. By the way, Weeks leading the Brewers with 12 runs. He has walked 10 times. Gomez follows then Ryan Braun, a 9-game hitting streak for the left fielder. Cleanup hitter and struggling is Prince fielder Casey McGee. The third baseman hits 5th. Jim Edmonds, the veteran, in right field. George Contreras is the catcher, batting 7th. The left-hand hitting backstop. Alcides Escobar, the slick fielding shortstop, then Randy Wolf. In the Pirates outfield, it's Millage McCutchen and Ryan Church plays right field today. Delwyn Young and Garrett Jones on the corners. Ronnie Cedeno, Aki Iwamura up the middle. Ryan Domit catches Daniel McCutchen.
Yep, and we're talking about needing a spark, and it usually can come in the most unlikely of places. This is the so-called number 5 starter, but if he gives the Pirates 5-6 good innings, that could be huge. This is one of those games you want to win, just to get the bad taste of the last 2 out of your mouth, salvage something, go out on the road with a good feel, and let's hope Daniel McCutchen can contain these Milwaukee Brewers. They're very good hitters, and also keep an eye on opportunities for the Brewers to run. This is a young pitcher. They've got some guys at the top of their batting order that can run. Weeks can run. Gomez has 4 steals. Braun has 3 steals. So a real challenge for Daniel McCutchen because they can hit and they can run. So he needs to be on his game, and hopefully he can keep them off that outside part of the plate.
As we said, it's just a spectacular day here in Pittsburgh. 63 degrees. Forecast baseball. Umpiring crew, Hunter Wendelstedt will call the balls and strikes. Dan Bellino is the first base umpire. Crew chief at second base, Jerry Lane. And Mike Winters, the third base umpire.
And last time out for Daniel McCutchen, just 4 innings against Cincinnati. The Pirates came back and won that ball game, or held on to win that ball game. That was one of the dramatic wins during the 3-game sweep. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. He walked 3, struck out 1. He cannot afford to give free passes to this good hitting Brewers team.
And starting right off the bat here with Ricky Weeks, who doesn't need any help. He's batting .327, but as we said, he's walked 10 times. You don't want to put this guy on the base in front of Braun. The fielder is struggling, but Ryan Braun is off to a fine start. Carlos Gomez, center fielder, on deck. And in the hole is Braun. 1-0 pitch, 2-0. And you might have seen the story today in the paper, Joe Kerrigan talking about Charlie Morton's struggles, and he simplified it to just one issue. And this really goes with the entire staff, and probably every staff in baseball. Throw strike 1.
Yep. First pitch, strikes. Get out in front.
And that's usually McCutchen's game, Steve. We just have not seen it just yet. Now maybe it's a bit of early season jitters from Daniel McCutchen as Joe Kerrigan looks on. McCutchen's spot in the rotation not necessarily solidified. He did make his first start on the 11th when the Pirates first needed a 5th starter, and then was slated to go back possibly to the minor leagues, but then Ross Ohlendorf got hurt.
Well, the thing is with Daniel, he's not a baby anymore. He had 6 starts last year, so he should be getting the feel of the major league atmosphere. So there's only so long you can use that as an excuse. Not that he does. I don't think he does. But when people look at that, they'll say, well, he's still young. Well, he's had enough starts now where he should be getting more and more comfortable each time he gets out there.
He is 27 years old, former pick of the Yankees, Rays, Cardinals, Yankees again. And strike 3 right on the corner. Nice start for Daniel McCutchen.
And that scares me to death because that's what Charlie Morton did the other night. But, yeah, good comeback behind 0-2, and then hits the call third strike. Knee high, gets the call. And he's off to a good start. But, yeah, 2 flat games. You need a spark, and you never know where it's going to come from, and you'd love to see it come from Daniel.
Gomez lines this ball deep to right center field, but there is Church to make the catch. Carlos Gomez lines out to right center. Ryan Church making the play. He's getting the start in right field, and now It is Ryan Braun. This is his first inning at bat with 2 outs, nobody on, off Zach Duke. He launches his 4th home run of the season. Gave the Brewers the 1-0 lead, and they went on to coast 8-0. In fact, Brewers have had a lead of at least 8 runs each of the last 3 games. The finale of their series in Washington against the Nationals on Sunday, and the first 2 games of this series. It's just the second time in Brewers history that they have taken a lead of at least 8 runs, 3 consecutive games. They also did it the first 3 games of the 1978 season, all 3 of those games against the Orioles. It's Ken Maka, Pittsburgh native. Steve and I ran into him last night after the game. He said, got some pitching. You know, it didn't have much of it in Washington, but you never know, and this is what every manager will tell you. So it can come and go.
Yep.
You get that pitching, you can win a lot of games.
And I like that fastball inside. You just go back to that first pitch strike. For the last 100 years or so, it's been unbelievable the difference in batting averages when the pitchers are ahead in the count or if they're behind. It's just been a fact of life forever. And if you can throw strike 1 on your first pitch, you're off on the right track. Now there's a fastball that follows the fastball inside off the plate to just get the batter's attention, knowing he can't dive. And now he throws another fastball, and maybe a little bit of that residual effect, that leftover effect from the previous inside fastball, locks him up. They want it in again, and they get it down and away. But down and away in a good spot. So, you know.
So he missed his spot, but he missed down.
Yep, but you can still make a good pitch. Yeah, you want to hit your spots, but there's a lot of good spots around that strike zone. Every batter, every major league hitter will tell you there's a lot of areas that they're vulnerable in. But they're not vulnerable when that ball's right down the middle.
Rides in on Braun, goes to 3-2.
Well, you try different things on a guy like Ryan Braun. That looked like he might have turned it over a little bit, maybe a sinking 2-seamer. Because this guy is one of the best. Each time we see him, you're more and more impressed with the hitting abilities of Ryan Braun.
Getting better each year.
Good fastball in the outside part of the plate.
Well done, Daniel McCutchen. 1, 2, 3. Now the Pirates need to go to work against the veteran Randy Wolf. By Suzuki, as the Brewers went down in order. See what the Pirates can do in their batting order. Aki Iwamura leads off. Andrew McCutchen hits second. Lastings Village bats third. Garrett Jones hits cleanup. I misspoke earlier. Ryan Church hitting fifth, and Domit drops down to the 6th spot of the batting order. Delwyn Young, Daniel McCutchen, and hitting 9th, and 4 for 6 lifetime against this pitcher is Ronnie Cedeno. Randy Wolf is that pitcher, and his defense is Ryan Braun in left, Carlos Gomez in center, Jim Edmonds in right, Casey McGee, Alcides Escobar on the left side of the infield. Ricky Weeks, Prince Fielder on the right side. George Gutierrez catches Randy Wolf.
This 33-year-old veteran left-hander had a lot of good years with Philadelphia early in his career. This is what he's done so far this year. California native, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Randy Wolf. And he's not a dazzling fireballer, but 18 innings, 15 strikeouts. He gets his share of strikeouts. He's won 102 Major League Baseball games.
1 ball, 1 strike on Iwamura, 0 for 7 in the series. He is 2 for 4 in his career against Wolf with a home run.
And we talked about the success Randy has had against the Pirates. 102 wins, 7 of those have come at the expense of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 7-1 lifetime against the Bucks.
One ball, 2 strikes on Iwamura, with McCutchen follow against Randy Wolf. 1-1 in 3 starts as a Brewer. Randy Wolf, 11-game winner last year for the Dodgers, 1 season in LA. His return to Los Angeles after spending the 2008 campaign with Houston and San Diego. It's 2-2.
Yeah, 4 seasons of double-figure wins for the Phillies, and then 11-7 for Los Angeles last year. 34 starts, so a lot of no decisions.
3-2. Most figured that he would be re-signed by the Astros after he went 6-2 down the stretch for Houston when he was acquired by the Astros, but they withdrew their 3-year, $27 million offer because of a faltering economy. So he signed with the Dodgers, went 11-7, and he strikes out Iwamura to start the bottom of the first inning.
And there's your 87-mile-an-hour fastball that Aki chases. That's got a chance to be ball 4.
Good chance to be ball 4. Randy Wolf, as we said, 11-7 last year in 34 starts for the Dodgers as Iwamura goes down on strikes. Boy, the Pirates struck out a bunch last night, 13 times, 10 in 5 innings against the starter Yovani Gallardo. Strike 1 on McCutchen.
Well, you look at those situations, and many times you'll say, is the pitcher that good, or are we swinging the bats that bad? I thought that young man was very good last night, Gallardo.
One ball, 1 strike on McCutchen. 273 hitter, just 1 home run, 1 RBI, however. He did steal a couple of bases last night after he drew a free pass.
Here's the floater. You look at the 7-7 record, Greg, and people say, how have you guys won 7 games? With the numbers down at the bottom of the charts and team batting average. Well, when they were winning, they got hits. They didn't get all that many, but they got them at the right time. They knocked in critical runs. So that can't continue. That you can't do that all season long.
They got the timely hitting, Steve, and they got good enough pitching too.
Yeah, well, the bullpen has done a good job. There have been some bits and pieces.
The starter gives them 6 strong innings. This bullpen is good enough, you would think, this year to win a lot of games.
Yes.
Pitches popped up to right. Easy play for Edmonds. 2 up, 2 down for Randy Wolf.
Well, we talked the first game about how strange it was to see Edmonds in anything but a red uniform. Now, more strange, he's in that blue uniform again, but he's in right field. We've seen him in center field for years.
Gold Glove winner Edmonds with the Angels and Cardinals, and spent a part of the 2008 season with the Cubs. Did not play last year. Was invited to spring training as a non-roster player, and he made the club, and he's gotten some playing time. He's split a little bit of center field action with Carlos Gomez. Strike is called on Millage, who was 1 for 8 in the series. And he is 1 for 13 lifetime against Randy Wolf. And quickly, Wolf ahead 0-2.
How about this story on Randy Wolf? It says in the media guide, he bought the house that the former Guns N' Roses guy Slash owned. I wonder if they slashed the price. Do you think he got a good buy?
No.
I don't think so.
Fly ball to center field. Coming in is Gomez, and he'll play it on the short hop. Gomez just a bit of a late break. And Millage has a 2-out single.
Bet that house could tell some stories. Huh?
Yeah.
Just a little flare that Gomez does not get to. Pirates own the first base runner.
Garrett Jones, 1 for 2 with a pair of walks last night. He's hitting just 208, but he's hanging in there. The power numbers aren't there just yet. He has walked 12 times. With the 3 home runs first 2 games of the season, hasn't homered since. Runner goes. I was just about to say that usually don't try to run on Randy Wolf. But the Pirates do, and Millage is thrown out trying to steal. After 1, 0-0.
Long enough, Millage commits, and then it's just a matter of time. I don't know why they call it a caught stealing. What did the catcher have to do with that play? They get credit when they throw somebody out when there's caught stealing. It's a pickoff. Give the credit to Randy Wolf. He holds long enough to make the runner commit. Caught stealing 1-3-6.
Strike 1 on Prince Fielder.
Okay, that's the end of my dialogue. No more editorials.
A bitter Steve Blass continues. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Many times it's a guessing game. When you want to take off, you think the pitcher is committed to go to home plate. Well, he was not committed to go to home plate. He waits long enough, and the commitment is made by the runner.
0-2 on Prince Fielder. Inside, just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fielder 1 for 4 in last night's game, snapping an 0 for 13 hitless string with his base hit in the 6th inning. Also picked up an RBI. He's 1 for 8 in the series. No home runs yet.
Saw Daniel come inside.
Deep to center. Way back and way gone. Prince Fielder on a 1-2 pitch hits his first home run of the season, and the Brewers lead 1-0.
All you had to do was watch Andrew McCutchen, because all Andrew McCutchen did was watch himself. Made maybe 1 step and then just watch to see how far it was going to go. The launching and then the look. Not far enough in. He came inside on the 0-2 pitch far enough. I thought it was a pretty good delivery, 0-2, but and not quite far enough inside. Just a matter of time before Mr. Fielder is going to start hitting the ball over the fence.
Hoping to get them out of town, really, before he did get hot with the long ball.
So he hit it over the Heinz sign. Is it fair to say that the Pirates have to catch up now?
No.
Okay.
There's a fly ball. Right center. Church over by the track near the Comcast sign, and he makes the catch. A deep drive the other way.
Risky business. This ball had a lot of carry. This man is pretty impressive. Casey McGee. That ball just kept on going, and Ryan Church had it measured, but at the end, because of the carry, just still had to reach out.
Edmonds was 2 for 5 the opening game of the series. 1-0 Milwaukee. Prince Fielder's first home run of the season. That ends his power drought at 53 consecutive at-bats to open the season. That matched the longest season opening homerless stretch of his career, 2008. Fielder did not go deep until his 54th at-bat. Back then, 2 years ago, at a game-winning 2-run homer in the 10th inning in St. Louis.
Be interesting to see what the year plays out for Jim Edmonds after sitting out a year. You know, it's the big leagues. It's not so easy to sit out a full year against major league competition and then just walk right back in. See how it plays out for him.
Called 2-2. Gabe Kapler comes to mind. Gabe Kapler was a coach in the Brewers system, minor league system, for a year, then came back and played. That was about 4 years ago. He's still going. Edmonds feels healthy again and hits this ball deep the other way. Left center. Back is Millage. And that up against the wall, into the notch. And an easy double for Jim Edmonds,
who chose to either take the home run or double from the time he hit the ball, rather than maybe see if he might have had a shot for 3 bases. So you give this a long look before he takes off. Oh yeah, he thought that ball was out of here. So he'll settle for the 2 instead of trying for 3.
So he's there at second instead of third base. Edmonds' last home run 2 years ago against the Brewers.
And that's about as far as you can hit a ball in this ballpark and have it not go over the fence. That ball bounced right at the 410 sign. So really long rides for the first 3 batters in this inning. The home run, the long fly ball to right center, and the longer fly ball to the notch.
Two on Contreras. Slapped foul. Contreras 1 hit and 8 at bats. Limited action as he backs up veteran Greg Zaun.
Right there, that could have been part of a business uniform that guy worked this morning, comes over and watches the ball game this afternoon. Like it. Only the tie is removed.
Business person special. Weekday afternoon baseball here in Pittsburgh. 1-2 pitch and bounce to the right side. Second baseman Iwamura throws on to Jones. 2 outs. It brings up Alcides Escobar with Edmonds at third. A 1-0 lead for Milwaukee. And by the way, we want to send along a special happy 50th birthday wish to John Foley, Chief Information Officer at West Penn Allegheny Health System. Waste Management giving away the recycled green caps and the green t-shirts.
Happy to see Dave Zacher, remember the Pittsburgh FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, stopping by. Good friend, a veteran fantasy camper, Dave Zacher. Good friend, had a chance to say hello to him. He's here watching the Bucks today.
Thank you for the shirt.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike on Escobar. A couple of triples last night, 4 for 8 in the series.
And you might think, well, why doesn't he just work around this guy? and pitched to Randy Wolf. Well, Randy Wolf has 5 career home runs.
Barrel League leaders statistic. Triples, Alcides Escobar with 3, and he is tied with Nyjer Morgan, now the Washington Nationals. Barrel.com, definitely worth the click. We're talking a bit about this last night, that the Brewers felt like Escobar's time had come up through their minor league system. They traded J.J. Hardy over the winter to the Twins. They got the new center fielder Carlos Gomez to replace Mike Cameron. So 2 young players in the lineup every day. A little flare. Jones is there. Leadoff home run for Prince Fielder, his first of the season. Will that get him going? The Brewers lead 1-0. Brought his son Drew there to his left over in the radio booth along with some buddies.
That's Drew there.
You're drawing Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, drawing. I drew Drew.
One of his 3 sons coming to work with Dad here at PNC Park as Tim and Bob take care of things on the radio side. Ball 1 on Garrett Jones. And you did the reverse yesterday, I understand. It was bring Grandpa to school yesterday, right?
To read a story about Sharky Shark to the preschoolers.
This is your grandson, Christopher Parker, right?
No, this is Noah, the 5-year-old.
Oh, Noah.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. So you read to the...
Yeah, we read the story of Sharky Shark. It took a while to get through it because they had a lot of questions and a lot of opinions on each page. It was fun. Methodist Church up in Upper St. Clair. A lot of fun with the kids. And they had been coached and trained to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," so it was a nice reception.
Very nice.
Sang it. They all know the words. No notes, no teleprompters.
Now, were you able to get them to chant "Let's Go Bucks" at all? That's key.
Greg,
fired up.
Greg, my only mistake. I did it when I first got there. So
no!
Before
you read the book.
During the entire reading of Sharky Shark,
Shark.
They kept hollering "Let's Go Bucks." I got to do "Let's Go Bucks" at the end. We had a good time.
Garrett Jones, as we said, drawing some walks. That's his 13th free pass. FSN is celebrating National Bring a Child to Work Day. The goal of this one-day event is open to kids' eyes to new possibilities and encourage future careers. Right now, children from the FSN family are here enjoying the Pirates game after they spent the morning shadowing their relatives at work. And
the tour director, Bob Walk.
Yeah. The batter, Ryan Church, 7 for 16 at the plate, hitting .438. It's Ryan Church. Strike one. Just 3 previous at-bats against the lefty Wolf. 0 for 3. Oh, he lines this ball to right. And a nice catch in right center field. And Garrett Jones had to wait until he saw an umpire make a call, but Jones figured it had been caught by Edmonds. Ball lined to right center. Edmonds makes the catch.
Yep, came in and gets the glove underneath it. If he doesn't do that, everybody's still running. This ball was hit very hard. A great at bat for Brian Church. You can't hit it much harder, but the veteran who we've seen get it done with a glove all his career picks up another above average play, much above average play.
Garrett Jones back to the bag. Domit now batting from the right side. Ryan Domit, runner goes, pitch is taken, and then, Steve, you talked about the guesswork you have to do with Randy Wolf, and that was just a guess. A Coteras does not throw well at all. He threw out just 13% of the runners trying to steal last season.
And this is the perfect time to do it. Look at it. He gets the ball over in the glove side, so it takes a while to exchange to the throwing hand, and the throw is a little high, and you combine that with the fact that Garrett guessed properly. Easy steal.
Now a chance for Domit to bring in an important run. 1-0 Milwaukee. Garrett Jones last year stole 10 bases in 12 attempts, and that his first this season for Garrett Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Ryan Domit. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Take a look again at Garrett Jones guessing that Wolf was going home.
Yeah, he's got 4 steps under his belt before the ball is released, so that helps. The whole package lends itself to the stolen base.
1-2 the count. Delwin Young on deck. 2-2. The good word. We're going to feature this on a regular basis this year on FSN. The good word from Ryan Domit on the middle of the batting order. It's our job to get on base. The heart of the order. You can't win without it. It's been too long since I personally have done anything.
That covers the whole thing. You've got to have production from Domit, Jones, and Clement. Just got to happen.
Again, 2-2 on Ryan Domit. Dropped down to the 6th spot to move Church into that 5 hole as struggling Jeff Clement sits against the lefty Randy Wolf. Batting with men in scoring position, such a key statistic. And Domit hitting just a .154 in these situations. 2 hits in 13 at bats. With men at second and or third base as Wolf turns, does not throw.
And sometimes it's not a matter of how many hits, it's when you get them, and that's created the Pirates 7 wins, but you can't do that forever.
Headed toward the middle, but off the glove of the shortstop Gomez. That actually could have allowed Jones to score, but of course Beasley can't anticipate that ball's going to come off Escobar's glove, so Jones had to pull up stakes there. 1st and 3rd.
And a nice recovery as that ball got into short center field. There's Escobar, and then the backup by second baseman Weeks is critical. If he's not there, the Pirates do get the run. Nothing he can do at that point because Ricky Weeks does his job backing up. Good lesson for the youngsters.
1st and 3rd now, an infield hit for Domit. Delwin Young, 0 for 7 in the series, getting another start at third base. He's learning on the job at the big league level at third base with Andy LaRoche on the shelf with some back tightness. Slow breaking ball on the strike.
65 miles an hour on that floater. So you have that much contrast. That 86, 87, 88 mile an hour fastball seems like a freight train compared to 65.
Chopped towards short. Garrett Jones holds at third base, and the out is recorded 6-3.
Well, sometimes you get into a situation where you're running on contact. If you're going on contact there, you do score, but that's not the case there. And at-bats remain with runners at second and third and 2 outs now. Just a kind of medium chop. It wasn't so slow that you could take off even if you're going to go late. And the ball wasn't exactly blistered at Escobar.
Well, this is when the pitcher batting in the 8th spot of the order can hurt the Pirates, because now it's a chance for Wolf to get out of it, facing Daniel McCutchen.
Put it in play, take your chances. He runs well.
Oh my goodness, into the Milwaukee dugout. It missed everybody. Kenny Maka, the duck.
Kenny better check his laundry. I'll tell you that. That was a BB. He's looking at him and saying, "What are you doing?" He's probably going to give the signal out to Wolf now. Throw him a breaking ball so he's not so late in that swing.
And bounce to first, foul. Here's another look at that foul ball. Ken Maka there. Oh, Maka in his second year as the Brewers skipper. A number of years in Oakland. And interviewed for the Pirates job a few years ago when the Bucks gave that job to Jim Tracy.
Not much time to react to that ball.
1-2 pitch. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to count on the pitcher, Daniel McCutchen. Pretty good athlete. Out of the University of Oklahoma. Chop toward the shortstop. And the throw on to first to get McCutchen. Pirates strand 2. And after 2 innings at PNC Park, Milwaukee still leads at 1-0. Church in Webster, New York. The group spending their spring break at a Hosanna Industries camp doing rehab work on housing in the Pittsburgh area. Welcome to Pittsburgh and PNC Park. Senior high school youth group from Webster Presbyterian Church in Webster, New York, and doing good work. And he always does good work.
The bird.
It's kind of his day, isn't it, Steve? The green caps, the green shirts given away, and the big green bird.
Pretty earthy bird.
Yep. Up. There goes a green cap. Give me that back, you doggone bird. Give me that.
Now, what if the guy just gets up and tips him over?
Could do that.
Bird just fly away, I guess. All right. All's right with the world.
Randy Wolf at the plate. And it's ball one. As Daniel McCutchen goes back to work. Wolf 2 for 7 this season at the plate. Career 182 and 5 home runs.
Hunter Wendelstedt barking it out like his dad used to do.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can certainly
Harry Wendelstedt,
hear him.
One of the great National League umpires.
Line to center field and a base hit for Randy Wolf, whose brother Jim Wolf is a major league umpire. Buccos and PNC Bank teaming up to bring you discounted PNC check card dates every Friday home game and other select games this season. All PNC Bank customers who use their PNC check card get half off outfield box and grandstand seats. Purchase tickets at the PNC Park ticket windows or go to pirates.com/PNC check card. Use your PNC check card and save at PNC Park. Leadoff hit for Wolf, the batter Ricky Weeks. Shortstop going to get one. Cedeno to Iwamura.
Well, it's enough of a challenge with everybody in this lineup, and then when you add the pitcher, Randy Wolf, who can swing the bat, and he leads off an inning with a base hit. We have a challenge here in the top of the third inning. Good to just get that first out. Just don't let it start running away from you. Go 1 on, 1 out.
And Steve talked about the fact that the Brewers have pretty good speed and that they might try and steal some bases. Now, Ricky Weeks, limited action last year, stole 2 in 4 attempts. He's 1 out of 2 this year, but 2 years ago swiped 19 bases in 24 tries.
They will test a young pitcher. They'll test anybody, especially a young pitcher trying to get himself established.
Protective sleeve on that left wrist. It's taken for a strike, as the left wrist is what the torn tendons in the left wrist May of last year cost Ricky Weeks a bunch of games. He made only 36 starts at second base last year because of the injury.
Daniel McCutchen and the Pirates, Joe Kerrigan, I'm sure has advised him about the fact that there's a good chance they would challenge him on the bases.
Good throw, very close. Wow, perfect on the bag.
Yep. And the thing is, with a young pitcher, is you're going to have a chance to look at this close play at first base. If you give up a stolen base on the first attempt,
whoa.
Well, the tag was applied up on the arm, so the hand apparently got under, but it was closer than it appeared to the naked eye on that replay. If they succeed on one, they will keep running. So critical, if you can. You get the first guy thrown out, that'll get their attention. Not that they won't run anymore, but if they succeed on that first one, it could be just a rush to second base by a lot of people.
And there he goes. And it's a fly ball to center field. And it drops in, and it's first and third for the Brewers.
And a good read by Ricky Weeks, knowing that ball had a good chance to fall in. Cedeno almost gets to it, but Weeks is running, so he's right there. He can get a good feel watching that ball, so he decides that it's going to fall in and makes his move, makes the commitment. He's off, doesn't have a particularly good jump, but when the ball falls in, he's right there in a position to take the extra 90 feet. I think if the ball gets to Ryan Doumit, they're going to throw him out at second base, but that's a moot point.
Gomez the base hit. Now it's Ryan Braun first and third, and boy, could McCutchen use the ground ball here. He got it from Braun with nobody on in the first.
Another good quick move. And you know, you think about good moves being just real quick, but also the accuracy of the throw. You know, if you're quick and the throw is upstairs, you don't have a chance. But you can be moderately quick, and if it's right on the money, right down where the tag is applied, then well, you can get some pickoffs. quick and accurate.
There goes the runner. And Domit's throw is high. Stolen base for Carlos Gomez. He's 5 for 5.
Not surprising at all that even though they're hitting the ball and swinging the bats well, they are going to test this young man. There's a good break as Gomez looks back. I don't know what he's looking back at. I always thought the good idea would be to sneak a peek at the guy taking the throw to see how he's setting up.
Domit now 1 for 9, throwing out runners the early going. As this ball's popped foul and out of play by Ryan Braun.
Adding to the challenge here, Daniel McCutchen is not a big swing and a miss type pitcher. He's not one of those guys who can rear back in this kind of situation and just say, all right, I'm just going to commit to striking the batter out. He's more of a location guy, and that lends itself to anybody putting the ball in play, especially a guy like Ryan Braun. You've got an open base, but guess who's in the on-deck circle?
Pirates are conceding the run with the infield back. Past the third base coach, Brad Fisher. Real hot this season, Ryan Braun.
He's always off to a good start, isn't he? Is this unusual for him?
5th in the league in hitting currently is Braun. His 15 RBIs. Tied for 5th. Reaches out and pokes it foul out of play.
And that's a big item for Ryan Braun right there, because Daniel McCutchen threw him a very good pitch out away, and he stayed alive by fouling it off. There's a lot of swings and misses at that slider, what appeared to be a slider, but he's still up there. And you know, that gets into any pitcher's head. You throw the pitch that you want to, and he fouls it off. There's only so many of those you can throw in these kind of situations when you got runners in scoring position. Now he comes up and in it. He's making good pitches on Ryan Braun, but Braun is that good, and he's just wasting them.
Daniel McCutchen started 6 games last year for the Pirates as September call-up. Went 13-6 at AAA Indianapolis with a .347 ERA. He was acquired from the Yankees in the Xavier Nady deal. Pirates also got Ross Ollendorf, Jeff Karstens, Jose Tabata in that trade. Another foul ball for a power hitter. Braun doesn't strike out a ton. 121 Ks last year. Collected 203 hits to lead the league. 32 homers, drove in 114.
Now Domit wants to go out and talk to Daniel McCutchen, probably going out there and said, got any ideas? What do you want to try next? They've made 3 pretty good pitches in this 2-strike situation, and Braun has fouled all 3 of them off. As I said, you can only throw those good pitches so many times. It's tough. And of course, he can't go too far over the strike zone. You got a man on third base. You don't want to just give him a run.
Another foul ball. What to do with this guy, Ryan Braun? Milwaukee Brewers chose him in the first round, the 2005 draft. He was the 5th player chosen overall that year out of the University of Miami. Rookie of the year in 2007.
And what's going on here, you almost get the idea as a pitcher, maybe I got to go further out of the strike zone, and that gets a little dangerous. Tries it, and then Braun lays off. It's a tough at bat.
That's how they play Braun defensively. McCutchen shades him over toward right center. 9th pitch of the at bat.
Once again, Millage way off the line in left field.
And a drive to left. Millage is back at the warning track, at the wall, gone. Ryan Braun hits his 5th home run of the season, his 2nd in the last 2 games, and the Brewers lead 4-0.
He is that good. I mean, he just wasted 3 or 4 real good pitches by Daniel McCutchen, and finally got something he could drive. So, you know, it's tough because he's protecting with 2 strikes. He's protecting, and then he gets something that he doesn't have to be defensive about and just cuts it loose.
Joe Kerrigan out now. Another look. The home run by Ryan Braun. He knew it right away, even though Millage went back as if he might have a play. Braun hit his 4th home run of the season in the first inning with nobody on last night. And now with 2 on and 1 out, it's a 3-run blast. His 5th. The Brewers off and running again. It's the 6th home run of the series hit by the Brewers. Corey Hart hit one on Tuesday off Brian Burris. Last night, Braun, Weeks, and Garrett homered off Zach Duke. And here, Braun. Prince Fielder homered, his first of the year, leading off the 2nd. Leadoff hit by Randy Wolf, the pitcher, got it going.
And you know what they're saying over in the Milwaukee Brewers booth right now? They're saying that's as good an at bat as you can possibly have. You work the pitcher, work him, you waste his good pitches, and then you unload. And they're right. It's a terrific at bat.
Two and two.
Big time swing as usual from Prince Fielder. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. It is always full throttle, Mr. Fielder.
Three and two on Fielder. Ryan Braun now with 18 RBIs and a 10-game hitting streak. Fielder takes ball 4.
Not surprising there. Danny McCutchen usually has very good control, but when you get lit up like Ryan Braun just lit him up, sometimes you'll just you lose your focus for a little bit. You get a little wary because of the long ball, especially when you're hitting a power or facing a power guy like Fielder. Not unusual to see a free pass. Put that whole package together.
Casey McGee drove Ryan Church back to the wall in right center field in the 2nd. And they're even going to pay attention to Prince Fielder of all people at first.
99.9% of the time he will not go, but if you forget about him entirely, you never know. Highly unlikely.
Jeez, oh man, Steve, I think if I'm down 4-0, I do forget about Prince Fielder at first, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think I'm going to be locked in on McGee, trying to get this batter to hit into 2 if you can. Fielder, a huge specimen over there at first. Attempted 5 steals last year. Caught 3 times. And we check out the PNC achievement brought to you by PNC for the achiever in us all. Casey McGee, extra base hits tied for 3rd with 10. 20 hits tied for 6th. 4th in slugging, 4th in total bases.
Yeah, when you're slugging over 700, you're going to be on some kind of list.
Yep. One ball, one strike. 1 and 2. Casey McGee looking like one of
the
and one of the best pickups baseball has seen in the last couple of years. Cubs gave up on him, claimed on waivers before last year, and went on to hit .301 with 16 homers, drove in 66, and finished 5th in Rookie of the Year voting.
Talent evaluation once again.
So critical.
So somebody saw something in him and was able to sell what he saw to management. That's the key too. You know, you can be a scout and you just love somebody, but you got to be able to sell that to the people who make the decisions.
Well, Doug Melvin is the GM, so yeah, his assistants, his scouts, and Steve, that goes along with the track record. If the scout has a good track record of being a good talent evaluator, you're more likely to listen to a guy. He's calling up and say, "Hey, Doug, this McGee, we've been watching him. This guy can play in the big leagues."
Right, and I've been right before.
Yep,
and you know that. So there's some credibility involved.
McCutchen gets McGee on strikes. Second strikeout for Daniel McCutchen, now facing Jim Edmonds, who doubled to left center field in the second, deepest part of the yard. Edmonds takes low and in, ball one. And another hit for Edmonds.
So it looks like the year off has not hurt his swing from what we've seen so far.
It looks like the same Edmonds.
Yeah, he started the first game. By the way, they're underway in, what is it, Target Field in Minneapolis? They're playing some day baseball there.
Yep.
Indians out in front, 1-0 in the second. Fans are excited about that new yard for the Twins.
George Kateris now. Takes a pitch in the dirt. Kateris, a 20th round pick of the Padres 8 years ago, sent to Boston in September of 2006 for David Wells. In November, he was claimed off waivers by the Brewers. Became Tim Wakefield's personal catcher last year. A little chopper, nubber off the end of the bat. McCutchen fields and gets Kateris. But 8 men come to the plate. The pitcher Randy Wolf got it started, and Ryan Braun flexes his muscles. 3-run home run. As they went into the Total Media Hall of Fame Club before the game and signed autographs to the players, the former Pirate players, Grant Jackson, Frank Thomas, and Dick Groat. Former Pirate greats signing autographs on Autograph Thursday. That'll make us smile. World Championship ring. Grant Jackson, of course, Dick Groat led the 1960 Bucks, and here is the former great Pirate, the MVP of that 1960 season.
Mr. Richard Morrow Groat. Dick, it's always great to see you, and it's great to have you here at the ballpark.
Always. It's a pleasure. I wish you guys would give me some answer. What does Milwaukee have over the Pirates? I don't understand.
And we were going to ask you the same thing because we can't figure it out, Dick. Every once in a while somebody has your number. How about back in the day in 1960? Your ball club have the number of any one team in the National League?
I think probably the Cubbies more than anybody. Of course, everybody had the Cubbies number in those days.
Yeah.
You know, Dick, Steve was kind of using that 60 World Series as almost an analogy of how things were going on earlier with the Pirates, who coming into this series, 2 games over 500, and in their 5 losses got smoked. But yet,
just like the Yankees and the Pirates in the 60 series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, this club, you know, they came from behind. That gives you an awful lot of confidence in yourself.
Cedeno crushes one over the head of Gomez off the wall in center field. Ronnie Cedeno, a leadoff double off the wall in center.
He is now, 5 out of 7 against Randy Wolf.
We're joined by Dick Groat in the broadcast booth here as you look at Ronnie Cedeno crush one over the head of the center fielder Carlos Gomez.
That's a good look. Well, we're looking at that. Dick, the 50th anniversary of that championship team. Is it still kind of fresh in your mind when you have these milestone anniversaries?
Pretty much so, believe it or not, Steve. Of course, it was such a thrilling year for all of us that you go back and reminisce over and over and over again, and it's like they talked over and over again about the Cincinnati series, our first home series when we came from behind, 5 runs, and this is exactly what's happened with the Pirates coming from behind this year. And it gives you a big lift. You start believing in yourself, and that's exactly what happened to us in 60.
Well, that confidence factor. Aki Iwamura bounces this ball to short. Cedeno will go to third. Escobar's throw is high, but fielder goes up to get it. Well, Dick Groat, his years with the Buccos, outstanding seasons, teaming up, of course, from the great double play combinations with Maz. 9 years with the Pirates. 3-time All-Star, National League MVP in 1960. Then, of course, he went on to help the Cardinals win the World Championship 4 years later. Dick Groat, 1960 MVP, hit .325 that year. And Gene Mauch, the manager of the Phillies, said he holds this Pirates team together. And I think that probably...
what a compliment that is, really.
Pretty much said it all.
It was amazing, though. You know, they talk about you being a leader. And it's so easy to be a leader when everything's going right, as it did for me in 1960. Everything, I hit the high hopper, it found a hole. If you had a line drive, it found a hole. That's how you win a batting title. And you can give yourself up, and everybody else gives themselves up to win.
You know, Dick, when I knew you were going to be here today, I wanted to pose this question because we know so much about Maz's home run and your MVP season, the high-profile guys, the Clementis. Was there a guy on that team that really never got enough credit, that really did a good job, was a very important part of that ball club?
There were 25, Steve. You just do not win without everyone contributing to winning a pennant. For example, the 2 first basemen and the 2 catchers, Hal Smith and Smokey Bozias, together knocked in over 100 runs. Stewart and Rocky Nelson knocked in over 100 runs. You know, that's a lot of run production from one position or another.
And I guess Murtaugh using people on a regular basis too, so they're fresh, and those kind of tandems, if they're out there often enough, they don't get stale.
You often wonder, I don't know, I'm not questioning Russell or anyone else, but Danny Murtaugh had the same identical lineup all season long. Even when I broke my wrist, Schofield hit second all during that. I mean, it was very consistent. The 2 catchers hit 6 always. Yes.
It's funny that this day and age, Dick, it doesn't seem as though managers stick with those set lineups. There are a lot of managers around baseball that go trying to find, I guess, the answers. I don't know. I don't know why they seem to feel a need to change often. Of course, a lot of times in this day and age, we've talked about this so many times, Steve, that guys don't stay in there day in and day out. So it's hard for a manager to have a set lineup. So many aches and pains that guys are pulled from the lineup. Right now, the guy with the consecutive games played streak is playing at first base for the Brewers, and that is Prince Fielder, 200 straight games played. That is the major league lead right now.
You know, it is amazing. And in fact, somebody asked me, I was with Bob Uecker, who was the announcer here for Milwaukee, And he was on the 64 Cardinals that I was fortunate enough to be a member of that went on and beat the Yankees again in the World Series. But during that season, we played the same 8 guys for 160-some games.
Wow.
I mean, there was that you have to be lucky. There was not an injury on that ball club all year long.
Garrett Jones takes ball 1. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 1960 World Series Pirates team that beat the Yankees. And of course, statue will be erected later this year and dedicated, the Maz statue. The 1-0 pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And we understand that Jamie Dixon is in the house, by the way. Coach Dixon is here today watching the Buccos. How good a coach is he, Dick?
He has to be one of the top 4 or 5 coaches in America. He just does a magnificent job, and he's a class man in every possible way.
It's exactly what we've seen. The times we've seen him interviewed, and the way he presents himself, represents his university in the city. Good stuff. And by the way, congratulations, your alma mater, the Duke, the Blue Devils, won the national championship this year.
They did an excellent job, believe it or not. In fact, Stevie, I tried to call you the other day, and I ended up talking to one of your dear friends. I was sorry to really upset Dave Justy having had a slight stroke, I guess, and I understand from what he told me on the phone, he's getting a lot stronger and will be back playing golf pretty soon.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday. Yeah, he's coming along good, and yeah, we're thinking about Dave. And under the weather, but you know David, he's itching to get out there.
2-1 the count on Jones. 3-1 with 2 outs now, and boy, this would be a hurting thing if the Pirates don't bring in at least a run. Golden opportunity there with Andrew McCutchen, runner at third, 1 out. The infield conceding a run, and you saw him bounce back to Randy Wolf.
It's a funny thing, and Dick, I know you've seen it. There are teams, major league teams, that will go through streaks, even with a leadoff triple, where you just fight, and you get on these strings, and it seems like somebody's got a hex on you. You can't get that run in with no outs or 1 out, and you just go through those streaks. And I guess you just got to, like a lot of things, you got to wait for it to play itself out, and then you're back on track. But it is frustrating.
No doubt about that. But again, so very, very important. It seems like the years when you win a pennant, you always get that key man in. If somebody doesn't get him in with no outs or 1 out, you get a base hit, a fister or something, and everything seems to fall into place when you go on to win a pennant.
Exactly. Like a scenario like now, you got the bases loaded, there's 2 outs. Little turning points in the ball game. You get a base hit, all of a sudden it's 4-2 now. They get a big out. That's a shot in the arm for them. You know, the ebb and flow of a baseball game.
No doubt about it.
Ryan Church lined the ball to right field in the second. Edmonds made the catch. Church tries to come up big here against Wolf and takes the ball. We're joined by Dick Groat, who was at the Trib Total Media Hall of Fame Club before the game, signing autographs along with Frank Thomas and Grant Jackson. Dick Groat, a member of that 1960 World Series Pirates team and the MVP of the 1960 season. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ryan Church.
How about another member of that whole outfit, the gunner, Bob Prince, during that year of 1960? I'm sure you talk about momentum and confidence. I bet he was on a roll.
Oh, he was. He was really something special. There's so many stories about Bob Prince.
I see you smile at the mention of his name.
People don't realize how much good he did in this city. He was just a very, very special person. He and his wife were both they're the top-notch people in every possible way.
You think of Bob Prince, he could have walked into a boardroom of U.S. Steel or a bar room in one of the suburban areas and maybe not the most affluent areas, and he would own the room wherever he went.
There's no doubt about it.
A 1-2 count. Oh, my. Caught looking. Bases left loaded. Dick Groat. Dick, thanks so much. Great to see you, Dick.
Ronnie, it's always great seeing you guys, and I really enjoy both of you on television or radio. You guys do a great job, and I might add, what a feeling it is to look over this city. This ballpark is magnificent.
Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
Well, how about that? Bottom half of the third inning was a great visit with Dick Groat, but wasn't fun to see the Pirates strand 3 runners and a golden opportunity to at least score 1 when the Pirates had Ronnie Cedeno at third base, 1 out in the infield back, but McCutchen bounced back to the mound, and after back-to-back walks, Ryan Church looks at a called third strike. So Daniel McCutchen back to work. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alcides Escobar, and Randy Wolf on deck.
Yeah, even Dick Groat was groaning as
Yeah.
that call third strike locked up Ryan Church with the bases loaded. And Dick hadn't played in a lot of years, but those instincts never go away.
Important now for McCutchen to try and put up a 0. Keep the Brewers within striking distance. Headed toward the seats. Take another look at this final pitch to Ryan Church.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Like a fastball right on the inside part of the plate. I don't know, might have been looking away. The left-hand pitchers love to pitch left-hand batters away, but locks them up, and that is a huge out for the Brewers and Randy Wolf. Huge.
Indeed, that was huge. Don't want to suggest that that wasn't a giant out for Wolf. This base hit for Escobar starts things.
Of course, Randy Wolf, a good hitting pitcher in a bunting situation. They had 4-0. He'll check with Brad Fisher. Out of the reach of Delwyn Young. A luxury for the Brewers because Fisher can give him the bunt sign, or he can have him kind of square around, maybe slug bunt. This guy handles the bat that well, so some options available. Got a 4-run lead. You got a lead-off man on. You got your pitcher up. Life is good for the Brewers right here in the top of the 4th. And you must get at least an out of this situation. Yeah, you don't want to give up the sacrifice. You never do, but it happens a lot. But you do get an out of it, and you must get at least that much.
That's odd. Randy Wolf looked like he was looking into his dugout.
Saying, I don't want to bunt, perhaps.
Not looking at the third base coach. I guess the Winners had to wait till Maka relayed the signs to him.
Yep.
Or the third base coach, Brad Fisher.
Yeah. Well, see, Randy Wolf's been around long enough. Hey, guys, get it together. Tell me what to do here.
Anyway, just to go back, that was a huge at bat. No doubt that Ryan Church is caught looking, but Andrew McCutchen with the runner at third and 1 out in the infield conceding a run. Bounces back to the mound. Had he been able to get that run home, that strikeout of Church wouldn't have hurt so badly. But for whatever reason, McCutchen now 0 for 14 with men in scoring position the early going of this season. He just has not yet got it going, and he will. But this is the as big as an out that was of Church. How about that one?
Yeah, and it wasn't one of those perfect ×10 pitches. I mean, pitch that you usually can get a decent part of the bat on, but didn't happen.
And now, as Steve said, you have to get at least an out, and they are accepting the fact that they are going to give up an out to get that runner to second. Of course, you have to get the 1 out here, and
doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. Escobar runs that well.
It is 2-1 on Randy Wolf. Wolf with 9 bunts last year, successful, and Doma just not able to grab it. Not enough air under it. 2-2 now on Randy Wolf. Now, Steve, do you change your perspective if you're McCutchen? Now that you got 2 strikes on him, is there something you should do?
Yeah, you got a strikeout opportunity here. You can go
do you have a pitch to play with? In other words,
yeah, but you don't want to go 3-2 on him because then you're that close to just missing, maybe not getting a call. I'm assuming they still got the bunt on, but they want to check. Brad Fisher wants to check with Randy Wolf. And the X factor here is that Wolf does swing the bat well enough that you don't have to totally commit to the bunt.
Don't know how much a factor it is that you have a very inexperienced third baseman in Delwyn Young. And swinging away and fouling it back.
That's the other option, of course, that he's not facing a fireballing pitcher, so he doesn't have to worry about just really getting blown away upstairs. Look at DJ Carrasco warming up.
And this should be 2. Quick to second for 1 to first. No. Wasn't hit all that hard. One thing we have seen, and this maybe will come, the Pirates middle infield combo of Iwamura and Cedeno, not real quick in turning the double play just yet.
Well, it wasn't hit that much, and then also Iwamura had to go over toward first base, create a long throw. I didn't think this was tailor-made, but there was a little hesitation on Cedeno's part coming across second base, so that eliminates any possibility. We did have the pitcher running.
4-6 on the force at second. And the batter, Ricky Weeks, he has struck out looking and bounced into a force play. Oh, 0-1 on Weeks.
Yeah, we have not seen the rhythm that you want to see from the total infield. And we talked about that in spring training.
One ball, one strike on Weeks.
And it may sound funny to hear the word rhythm described in a defensive kind of situation, but that's the sense I get. That ball missing inside. When they're working smooth and there's a flow to it, it just feels a little choppy. Primarily talking about the double plays and the pivots and the exchanges at second base, but then you get a situation with the corners with the inexperience of Clement and Young when it's that tandem on the corners. But again, we played 14 games. Not judgments etched in stone.
2-2 the count on Weeks.
McCutchen throwing going to be throwing his almost 80th pitch, and he is scheduled to bat fourth in the bottom of the fourth inning. Last time up, Daniel went 4, giving up 3 runs. And that was against the Cincinnati Reds. That was a 5-4 Pirate win.
Line drive, McCutchen. There. It's time to check out this day in Pirates history, brought to you by our friends at Day Automotive. April 22nd, 1988, Doug Drabek struck out a career-high 11 batters. Complete game win over the Cubbies, 8-4. It's our this day in Pirates history. Thank you, Day Automotive.
Well, you'll have to look it up for me. I don't know if that was his 22-6 Cy Young Award winning year. We'll see if we can find that out. But what a year he did have.
They're looking it up right now. Let's see, Doug Drabek.
Cy Young.
He's calling it.
Yep.
Calling a friend. Popped up, and this is going to be out of play to the left side.
Is that one of the lifelines on You Want to Be a Millionaire?
So you had a question, Steve, about
Doug Drabek's Cy Young year. Was it 88?
Well, they don't give you media guides, the color guys, do they? That's right, I forgot. Okay, let's see. I asked Jim Tredinich if he would issue a media guide to you and Bob and John.
To the lead men.
Yep.
The big dog. The big cheese.
Yes, sir.
Head man.
Cy Young in 1990, Doug Drabek.
It took you a little longer than I thought. But
yeah, I know. I'm used to it. It's on page 243 of that Pirates media guide. 0-2 on Carlos Gomez. Line drive into the corner. That's a fair ball. And the Pirates get a break in that Randy Wolf is the base runner. That's the only reason the Brewers don't have a 5th run home.
There's that ball down in the corner where Lastings Milledge has a long trip to get over and get it. He does the best he can, gets it back in. And you're right, Pirates are lucky just to be down 4-0. And now they're going to need another big out to keep the Brewers in sight. And guess who's up? Once again, in a situation where even though you got an open base, you got fielder in the on-deck circle, and John Russell is going to make a change right now.
He wants DJ Carrasco to face Braun, and the question facing the Pirates will be facing Braun, as hot as he is, and even though Fielder homered in the 2nd, how will they pitch to Ryan Braun? Columbia Gas 8-1-1, call to the pen, 4-0 Brewers. Last inning, Ryan Braun, this 3-run homer off Daniel McCutcheon gave the Brewers this 4-0 lead. His 5th home run of the season. That's the Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Braun ready to face Carrasco.
Well, the Pirates going with a veteran as opposed to a youngster, as John Russell makes the move, needing a very critical out right here.
Carrasco, 2 perfect innings of relief on Tuesday night. He faced Braun in the 6th inning and got him to fly out to center field. He also got Fielder, the next batter in the 6th inning, got Fielder to ground out to second base. Ryan Braun with 5 hits in 9 at-bats in the series. A 10-game hitting streak.
The Pirates into the bullpen once again. Last night, just 2 relievers used by John Russell in that 8-0 win. Previous night, the Charlie Morton start, he had to go to the bullpen 4 times.
Close.
No, he didn't go, but did he have to? Might have been downstairs a little bit. See the target?
Hunter Wendelstedt said no, he didn't go.
And no, it wasn't high enough. I thought it might have been good enough to be a call third strike, but downstairs a bit.
1 ball, 1 strike on Braun with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And 2-1 on Braun. The Brewers look to go 8-7 with a sweep here in Pittsburgh. A loss would drop the Pirates to 7-8. There are the runners. Wolf at 3rd, Gomez at 2nd. 3-1. Fielder hit his first home run of the season, leading off the second. Dangerous count, dangerous hitter. He walked him, and the bases are loaded for Fielder. Now, does that one swing of Fielder's in the second get him out of his slump? And here it is.
Well, he's just so strong. He can hit the average fly ball, and it just carries farther than a lesser man would have carried.
Ken Maka said he had checked in with Dale Swaim, the hitting coach, to see how Prince was handling the drought. And Swaim said he's fine, handling it well. And Dale Swaim, in fact, said that Prince Fielder had had slower starts than even this one.
He is in that category of the intimidators. Dale.
Former Pirate, Dale Swaim, former Brewer, and an interim manager a couple of years ago. They made the playoffs under Dale Swaim.
I thought he was going to, as a result of that, get a full-time job as a manager.
Oh, liner into center. Base hit. This will bring home 2, and another bobble by McCutchen, but it won't cost the Pirates in terms of the base runners. Fielder a 2-run single, and now at a 6-0 lead for Milwaukee.
And perfectly done by Prince Fielder as he hit the ball off the end of the bat. Everybody playing deep, and just a little flare in, so plenty of time for everybody to score. He combined that with 2 outs, or off to the races. 2 easy ones. Loses the bat handle, loses the helmet, but does not lose the 2 RBIs.
Casey McGee 0 for 2. Those 2 runs charged to McCutchen. McCutchen gives up 6 runs in 3 2/3. And another shaky start for the Pirates pitching staff.
But this series, what, 5 earned, 6 earned, and now another 6 earned.
Oh, now going to third, uncontested, Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun's 3rd stolen base of this series.
No reason for Ryan Doumit to throw.
Braun's 4th stolen base of the early season.
It's the easiest base to steal when they get careless.
And the Brewers are 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts. And a liner to center field. RBI single for McGee. It is 7-0 Brewers.
Groundhog Day.
McGee extends his hitting streak to 11 straight games. It's the 10th hit for Milwaukee. Casey McGee's 14th RBI of the year. Edmonds has doubled and singled. Look at that. After, ending that 17-game losing streak at the hands of the Brewers last year, the Pirates looked as though they had a decent handle on Milwaukee the second half of the season, at least here in Pittsburgh. They still have a losing streak to contend with in Miller Park. Just foul.
Well, sometimes you just get beat and sometimes you get embarrassed. This is in that latter category right now. Not that it's over. It's a fourth inning. But it's not looking good.
Actually, the Pirates carried a 4-game winning streak against the Brewers into this series. One and two on Edmonds. Two and two on Jim Edmonds.
And you might say, well, the Pirates are lucky because they're going to be heading out to work against the Houston Astros, and it's been a struggle for the Astros. But you're looking down the barrel of Roy Oswalt, one of the best right-handers. So
and the Astros
don't get too far
they've recovered. Actually, they're 5-9 now. So
yeah. They were 1-11 or something like that.
Bergman is back. They've won 4 in a row now, Houston. So this Pirates team be licking their wounds if they don't find a way to come back here this afternoon after feeling so good over the weekend. That 3-game sweep over the Reds. But the starting pitching in this series, Morton, 1 inning, 6 runs, 5 earned on 6 hits. Duke last night, 5 innings, 7 runs, 6 earned. Ground ball picked by Garrett Jones, the long arms, and the throw to first to put an end to a miserable top of the 4th. It is just the 4th, but the Brewers lead 7-0. Brought to you by AT&T Mobility. AT&T Rethink Possible. Name the 5 father-son combos that played for the Pirates. Bring your child to work day today or to the ballpark. Even better. Strike is called.
It is better.
Domit reached on an infield hit in the second. You got a veteran pitcher now on the hill with a big lead. Wouldn't expect Randy Wolf to give it away. Pirates have to really go to work. Wolf 7-1 lifetime and 12 career starts against Pittsburgh, and a pop-up. Domit is the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Randy Wolf will now face the switch hitting third baseman. The Pens try to wrap things up tonight here in Pittsburgh. Have it for you here on FSN. Game 5. Penguins face-off presented by Trib Total Media starts at 6:30. Strike at the knees. The Igloo. And the Igloo. Bob and I determined, I don't know if Bob agreed with me, that the new building, the Consol Energy Arena, will still be nicknamed the Igloo, Steve, even though it really doesn't look like one.
You feel it will and he doesn't?
Yeah, he said igloos have to be circular, and I don't agree with that.
Here's the pitch.
Well, you have to agree or disagree?
I agree that it's going to be called the Igloo.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Here's the 1-2. Delwyn Young, a fly ball to right field and extra bases. As Edmonds had him played very shallow. Delwyn Young has a 1-out double.
Yep. Upstairs and get those arms extended, and Delwyn Young hits it over the head of Jim Edmonds. So a 1-out start. Well, it's looking to get on the board. That's step one.
Well, unfortunately, the pitcher Carrasco has to hit. It is the 8th spot of the order, and with the starters not giving John Russell enough, even though you'd like to score that run. Ball chopped toward third, and the play made by McGee moves Young to third. And now Pirates need Cedeno to come through with 2 outs.
He doubled his first time up.
A leadoff double off the center field wall with the Pirates down 4-0 in the third, but they could not bring him home. Cedeno's first hit of the series, and now 5 for 7 lifetime against Randy Wolf.
Yeah, I think you got to think that history dictates that it will be the Igloo. I mean, there's a history there.
Agreed.
So I like it when you agree with me.
Likewise.
Was Bob just being contrary, or do you really believe it?
You never know with Bob, do you? See, the old Igloo on the right, the new Igloo on the left.
And why is it etched in stone? You can have an Igloo any shape you want.
That's what I tried to argue with him about. Of course,
couldn't agree with you more.
Like in this conversation, even more.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cedeno. Delwyn Young doubles with 1 out, but now with 2 down, he's at third. On a broken bat pop up, shortstop Escobar. Pirates do not score. They have left 6 through the first 4 innings and trail 7-0. his son Vance, and the Schultzes, Joe Sr. and Joe Schultz Jr. Father-son combos in Pirates history. George Kateris leads off the 5th inning. Now, Tony Armas was involved in one of the bigger trades in Pirates history, Steve. He was with the Bucs just 1 year, 1976, and then they traded him to Oakland along with Doug Baird, Dave Justy, Doc Medich, Mitchell Page, Rick Langford for Phil Garner and Tommy Helms. Now that is a blockbuster.
1976.
It was Tony Armas Jr., the pitcher, was with the Pirates 3 years ago and did not perform well. Signed as a free agent, was 4-5, tail end of his career. Ended up with an ERA just over 6. Kateris puts a charge into 1. George Kateris goes dead central. He hits his first home run. And Carrasco gives up the dinger to Kateris, and that gives the Brewers an 8-0 lead.
Wow. This ball just never quits carrying. I mean, up and back of the Pirates' hedge, past the shrubbery.
Kateris hit 1 home run in 93 at-bats with Boston last year. It's his second big league homer, his first as a Brewer.
And that's at the base of the batter's eye.
Yeah, absolutely crushed. That's where it ended up. The long home run by the catcher Kateris.
And there's not a whole lot of wind helping the ball carry. We're where we were last night at the finish, but now it's the 5th inning.
Whoa, Randy Wolf. He has a base hit and the wide turn. And Steve, frustrations in a series like this sometimes can get the best of you, and you just wonder. You kind of touched on it at the outset that you have to start backing guys off. They start digging in and feeling so comfortable at the plate. Look at the run differential in this series. This season, rather. Seems like 44 this series. Pirates losing 8-1 on Tuesday, 8-0 last night, and trailing 8-0 here in this one.
Yeah, these are the kind of situations that can get ugly. Not predicting that it's going to be. But they are having their at-bats. Wow. I'll tell you that. And, I just wonder because it is kind of an edgy relationship between the Brewers and the Pirates.
Goes back a couple of years. Incident in Milwaukee where Matt Capps hit Prince Fielder, and then later Prince Fielder scored a run and showboated as he slid into the plate. Last year, Ryan Braun was hit by a pitch. This ball lined to right field, and this over the head of the right fielder Ryan Church. This is batting practice for the Brewers, and into second base with a double, Ricky Weeks. And nobody warming in the Pirates' pen. Carrasco getting lit up.
He came into the ball game in a 2-out situation, gave up a walk, and then 2 base hits, created 3 runs. Now Joe Kerrigan is going to go out and have a visit with Domet and Carrasco. And Joe might be saying, hey, you got to give us a little more time out here. You got to give us some innings. So we go on the road with some somewhat fresh arms.
They are going to get Javier Lopez loosening in the bullpen, looks like.
13 hits, and we are in the top of the 5th. This is ugly.
John Russell setting the defense. Ball fouled out of play by Carlos Gomez, and there is Lopez.
Everybody in the Milwaukee batting order on the hit parade. Everybody, all 9. Pitcher with 2.
The last 2 games alone, the Buccos have been out hit 25-8. This series so far, they've been outscored 24-1. One ball, 2 strikes. Pirates trying to cut off a run here. Second and third, 1 out. Gomez 2 for 3. One ball, 2 strike count. And a wave and a miss as Carrasco dropped down, and it's a strikeout and a Bronx type cheer from the crowd here. Time to check out the easytouse.com minor league connection. And we take a look at what happened with Altoona last night. Matt Haig was a 9th round pick 2 years ago out of Oklahoma State. He was 2 for 4, a couple of singles, 3 RBIs, and batting .286, 4 doubles, 10 ribbies in 12 games. Eastern League, AA Altoona Curve. EasyToUse.com minor league connection. Ball, 1 strike. Speaking of the minor leagues, we're told that Aroldis Chapman, the Cuban defector, will start for the Reds AAA affiliate against the Pirates AAA affiliate, the Indianapolis Indians. He's been really sensational down in the minors. And with Aaron Harang continuing to struggle, you wonder if Walt Jocketty, the Reds GM, might not be tempted to give Chapman a try. ERA under 1.
Speaking of those prospects, other teams, Steven Strasburg, I think I saw that he had a very effective, 6 scoreless innings outing?
Struck out 6 in 5 innings, but they're going to keep him in the minor leagues for a while. And there's another hit opposite field for Ryan Braun. Braun, an opposite field double. 10-0. Pirates just getting ripped apart here in this series. Braun with 5 RBIs in this game, and John Russell will go to the bullpen. And he is hearing it from this Thursday afternoon crowd.
And these haven't been cheap. Maybe the single by Prince Fielder broken bat, that might be the exception. There have been some bullets and some very aggressive at-bats by the Brewers.
Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen.
we're just in the middle of this ball game.
Yeah. Top of the fifth inning, trailing 10-zip, out hit 14-4. Coming into this game, not including this one, in the 7 losses, the Pirates were outscored 65-13. As Ryan Braun talks with Ronnie Cedeno. Braun hitting 1 of 3 home runs today. And you look at Javier Lopez, the left-hander.
And those numbers aren't what you want them to be with control. 5 innings, or 4 innings and 5 walks. 4 innings, 5 walks. Carrasco charged with at least 4 runs, responsible for Braun in his 1 inning of work. 6 hits, a walk, and a strikeout.
Prince Fielder, a long look back at Hunter Wendelstedt through those shades. And he's smiling once again.
And you talk about a team that's on fire like the Brewers are. Every at bat is just so comfortable. They're going up there with no pressure. They're comfortable, loosey-goosey. That's the way you like to approach your bats as a hitter at any level. Your team's way ahead. The heat is off. Go up there and have a little fun. Look for a pitch, guess. If you guess wrong, so what? You got a huge lead.
A ball and 2 strikes on Prince Fielder. Bounced out against Javier Lopez in the 9th inning on Tuesday. Pop up. First baseman Jones calls for it and makes the catch. 3 more runs in. Halfway through this one. 10-0 Brewers. Yep, that kind of day so far. Young baseball fans and perhaps down the road members of the media, as these students were part of Perspective Media, a group that toured PNC Park. The ball bounced. The second play goes 4-3. 1 away. Sean McClintock from FSN, Tim Neverett, Mark Garda, Pirates Director of Broadcasting, met with that group before the game. Answer questions about what it's like to be in the business. Watching the game here this afternoon, and right now not really enjoying the game.
Yeah, but learning a lot about how to fill.
Exactly.
Fill time, and that's, of course,
that's
major,
right.
Major part of being part of the media, especially broadcasting.
0-1 on Andrew McCutchen, who has flied out and bounced back to the mound. Well, he's going to catch fire. Just a matter of when. He's been okay. He's been really good on the bases. 9 steals in 10 attempts. He scored runs.
Up to 3 for 4. First game of this series. Himself a good night. The Pirates did not. They've not had a good night since the Brewers came into town.
Three balls and a strike on Andrew McCutchen. Ken Macha's team now hitting on all cylinders. On a broken bat, base hit for McCutchen. A 1-out single for McCutchen, who really is, I think, worth the price of admission. He is something to watch. Bring your group to the ballpark and ask about how every member of your group can take home a Pirates cap or Roberto Clemente replica jersey with just the price of a ticket, in addition to a great discount. To reserve your group tickets, visit pirates.com/groups or call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. A true Pirates fan. Decked out. Millage on base twice. A single and a walk. Brewers have staked this 33-year-old left-hander to a 10-0 lead. Of course, Randy Wolf has played a role in it. He has 2 hits and he has scored 2 runs.
Everybody's been on the bandwagon. There's the 64-mile-an-hour curveball. Seen this a couple times from Randy. So far out in front that goes right around, and the shot off the helmet of Gutierrez. That's where they wear the helmets.
Chopped the fielder, and he throws to second and gets the lead man.
When everything's working, everything's working.
I think, when that ball first started out, you had the impression that fielder wouldn't even attempt to throw to second with McCutchen running.
Well, the pitchers appreciate this because Randy Wolf's looking at a scoreless ball game. The game well in hand for the Brewers right now. You help the pitcher out, keep that runner out of scoring position. Not a big item, but goes in the file.
Jones has walked twice. 3 free passes from Randy Wolf. .14 walks on the year for Jones to lead the team. And now he's in the hole 0-2. Down on strikes goes Garrett Jones. 5 innings down. Randy Wolf setting him down, shutting out the Buccos. 10-zip. Oliver Onion. Looks like Bayano is going to
he's fading.
pass
He's fading.
Hanna.
He's fading. Here comes Cheese.
Oh, you're right. He is fading.
When Cheese knows he's
Well, how
got
about
it. Watch
Saul
this.
coming up?
Watch this. Watch this.
On the inside.
Cheese knows he's got it. There's the victory jump. He knows.
No, it's not over yet. Swing and a miss. Wait a second. That was down the home stretch. Now we're going to get it. Chester. I thought that victory dance might cost him, Steve, before he got to the finish line.
Yep. Little cocky coming down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. World famous pierogies. Casey McGee faces the lefty Lopez. McGee 1 for 3 with an RBI.
One of those days, Daniel McCutcheon 3 2/3, 6 earned. DJ Carrasco 1 inning, 4 earned. There we are, 10 zip Brewers in the 6th.
And a historic 4-game stretch for this Brewers club. As we said at the outset, coming into this game, they had had a lead of at least 8 runs the 3 previous contests, and that included Sunday's game in Washington, where they scored 10 first-inning runs against the Nationals.
Makes it easy for Ken Maka or any other manager.
Pittsburgh's Ken Maka now makes his home in Latrobe. 3 years with the Buccos, a couple of years with Montreal. Fly ball to center, and the out recorded. And that just the second time that the Pirates have retired the first man in the batting order in an inning. So because of that, you've got that. Brewers all over the bases. That is their offense. 14 hits, 10 runs.
And they started the day ranked 7th team batting average in the National League. That will change. They will move a notch or 2 or 3 as a result of these 14 hits.
The Brewers will head home. This road trip started in Chicago, and then 3 in Washington and 3 here in Pittsburgh. They'll go to Miller Park and host the Cubs over the weekend, and then the Pirates next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jim Edmonds. His swing, his approach have been a perfect fit here over the years at PNC Park. He has always hit well in this yard, but goes down swinging, and he's retired for the 2nd time.
Right there's a reason why you probably won't see him starting a lot against left-hand pitchers.
George Kateris homered off Carrasco, his first as a Brewer.
Did he ever?
Kateris, Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. Takes ball 2. Caught most of knuckleballer Tim Wakefield's games last year in Boston. This pitch misses 3-0 the count now on Kateris. Assume that these two were battery mates with the Red Sox. Javier Lopez spending parts of the last 4 years in a Boston uniform. 3 seasons in Colorado, a year with the Diamondbacks. And he walks Kateris with 2 outs and nobody on. Pirates signed Javier Lopez as a free agent this winter. Escobar, 1 out of 3. 5 hits in 11 at-bats in the series. On Alcides Escobar. Figured he'd be able to handle his own at the big league level with the glove, and so far doing it with the bat as well. Hit .304 in 38 games last year, and his average right around 300 currently.
Got the speed, and he's got knocked in 5 runs early on. I'm sure they're satisfied with his work at this point early.
Last year, combined with Nashville and the big league club, he swiped 46 bases as he is retired by Lopez. So the Brewers do not score, but they lead 10-0. Friday night Pepsi Max pack for just $20. You get an outfield box ticket, a Pepsi product, a hot dog, and a pretzel. For tickets, visit pirates.com/Pepsi Max or call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. An outfield box ticket alone normally $20, but you get all that for $20. The box seat ticket, a Pepsi product, hot dog, and pretzel. Pepsi Max pack Friday nights. Craig Counsell takes over at third base for Milwaukee. Ryan Church has lined to right and struck out looking. Randy Wolf coasting through 5 innings.
There's that slow curve again. You know, Greg, you guys going down to Houston. You and I were talking to Manny Mota when the Dodgers were in town about some of the Houston Astrodome stories. About the fight between Manny Jimenez and Juan Pizarro and the Pirates. This is back in the 60s. The ball was popped up in a long run for Ron. And
just foul.
No matter.
Yeah. Some crazy stuff happening, huh?
Well, the thing with the Astrodome, it was configured for baseball in such a way there was just one long dugout. There was nowhere for the bullpen guys to sit. So everybody on the team was in the dugout, and it was exposed. There's no way to hide. And Manny Jimenez and Juan Pizarro got in a fight, and everybody in the ballpark and everybody watching knew it, and there was just no way to escape. And that was one of the incidents. The other was there was no way to do the 5-inning stretch. You know, the guys that are not in the game or the bullpen guys stretch in the 5th inning just to keep loose in case they're needed later on. There's a base hit, so the second opportunity gets the base hit. and the guys would have to go upstairs, 2 flights of stairs in the Astrodome to stretch. They're up there, a fight starts, and our best fighter, Dave Clark, is up there, runs down, trips on the steps, and turns his ankle, never gets down there in time. And we needed him because it was getting a little nasty down on the field. But the Astrodome was, it wasn't as nice a ballpark as people might have thought. The 8th wonder of the world, well, maybe from the outside. It was not very pretty.
Well, you know, I hear all the time, I wasn't around Pittsburgh with Forbes Field, and I know it holds great memories, but I think as time went on, I'm convinced, I don't want to be, it's almost blasphemy,
it is.
that park was no great shakes toward the end.
Well,
and again, people don't, they hold it such endearing terms when you hear people talk about Forbes Field, such reverence, understand, but
well, when a place is around from 1909 to 70, you know, you're going to get that feel. It was the amenities, to say the least, were not very nice. And you had to leave your clubhouse and go down a dirt trail underneath the stands, twisting and turning, without very much lighting. That ball popped up to Jim Edmonds.
Doman, an infield hit in 3 at-bats.
But a great place to pitch. Big barn.
There's Delwyn Young. A big yard, Forbes Field, in this ballpark. As fair as any. Talk to some other people around baseball. They'll tell you that you don't call this a pitcher's park. You don't call it a hitter's park. Very fair. Different dimensions. Of course, that notch in left center field, the deepest part of the yard. And home run ball, pretty spread around. You get some cheap home runs down the line and left. There's the notch in left center. This ball hit in the air to right for the second out. This ballpark could not hold 2 home runs today from the big men. Our Coors Light freeze cam. The 2 big boppers, Braun and Fielder. Fielder's home run in the second inning leading off against Daniel McCutchen, and Ryan Braun's 3-run homer off McCutchen in the third. Freeze cam brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. 78 home runs combined last year between Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun. You have those 2 boppers in the lineup, you really feel pretty confident that you're going to score some runs throughout the season on a pretty consistent basis. Currently, Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday get a lot of attention in St. Louis.
And should.
But these 2, the righty-lefty combo, one much like Pujols and Edmonds a few years ago. Pitch in the dirt, and Church will wind up at second. Jason Jaramillo batting for Lopez.
One of the good things about Forbes Field is the fact that before the games, you could send one of the clubhouse kids down the street on Forbes Avenue, and he would go to George Akins and bring back some fish sandwiches for the guys in the bullpen.
Nice.
Unique ballpark. Huge ballpark, but just 300 feet on the right field line. Big screen, so he had to get some height. Willie Stargell and some of the other guys found that height.
When they built this ballpark, they tried to bring a little bit of Forbes Field into PNC Park, including the toothbrush style
light standards. Yep, they're duplicates of what existed in Forbes Field. We had a guy that he didn't live in the scoreboard, but he cooked hot dogs and did some grilling in there.
This will be a 4-3 as the Pirates go quietly after the leadoff hit. Randy Wolf pitching a 6-hit shutout. Pirates' best golfer, Paul Maholm. Plus, see why new closer Octavio Dotel is famous for his flexibility. And catch the Pirates plays of the week all on Inside Pirates Baseball this Saturday at 6 on FSN. How about that, Steve? Can you do that?
I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. But, the answer is no.
Oh, okay. You can do what Maholm does, can't you, on the golf course?
I can't do it smiling. I might be able to do it, but it would hurt.
Pain.
Paul Maholm described as the best golfer, huh?
You don't like that, huh?
I don't like it a bit.
Maholm and Zach Duke. Jaramillo, the new catcher. Hanrahan, the new pitcher. And Joe Inglet bats for Randy Wolf.
He goes 6 scoreless, giving up 6 hits. Walked 3 and struck out 3. Number 35. Very popular number for a Pirate catcher. Manny Sanguillen wore it for a lot of years. Greg, you would have loved Juan Pizarro. His name came up with that situation in the Astrodome. Completely nuts. Pitched, had a great major league career. He was around a long time. Juan Pizarro had a good career. He was the only one that could just torture Clemente. On the team bus, on the team planes, Mr. Clementine, telephone for Mr. Clementine. He would just, and Clemente would want to choke him. But they were friends, they were buddies, but he just worked on him as the Brewers are working on the Pirates.
Sheesh. Inglet, the pinch hitter, will triple to start the 7th. This is incredible.
How about this number 9 spot for the Brewers? You think the other guys are hot. You go down to the number 9 spot, 3 out of 4. 2 base hits for Randy Wolf, and now the triple by Inglet. You talk about 2 airplanes taking off in different directions. How about the psychological flaw about those 2 directions? The Pirates heading down to Houston, having been pummeled, and the Brewers going home after a long trip with a big finish, big positive finish. Am I conceding that this ball game might be done? Well, yeah, kind of. But boy, I would love to be embarrassed, proving wrong.
Wow. Weeks shoots one past first. It is 11-0. We're going to have to start searching the record book, Steve. Seeing the last time the Pirates were just absolutely hammered in this manner in a 3-game series, especially in their home ballpark. 16 hits now. A few years ago, they went to Texas. Remember that? The road trip in Texas that was awful?
Nine of the 16 extra bases. If that's not accurate, it's right close to it. It's been a pretty impressive display by the Brewers.
Gomez has 2 of the 16 hits. Carlos Gomez, who a couple of years ago as a rookie replaced Torrey Hunter in Minnesota, and this year replacing Mike Cameron. Cameron signed a big free agent contract with Boston. 2-1.
Was it Cameron that kind of led the deal where they would
that's right.
untuck their shirts? Now, will that happen in Boston?
I don't think so, and it won't for a while because Cameron's on the DL and maybe out for quite some time. Lower abdominal strain. That's right. We were going to check that out to see what they would do in Boston. And they apparently did not untuck their jerseys here last night.
I was watching that last night.
Cameron claimed that it was a tribute to his father. His father would untuck his shirt after a hard day's work when he got home. The Brewers have done some things over the last couple of years that really rankle opponents. Starting with that, and how about when Prince Fielder hit the game-winning walk-off home run last year against the Giants, and then acted like he was the bowling ball and his teammates were the pins when he arrived at home plate. This is all choreographed. Watch this. And down they went. And Barry Zito, you have to really admire Zito because his next opportunity to do something about it was in spring training in Arizona, and he hit Prince Fielder.
Bad news bears, that kind of stuff.
Base hit to left for Braun.
And what a series this left fielder for the Brewers has had. I mean, he has been all over the chart, all 3 games.
7 hits for Braun.
Well, and he came into the game today 393, very, very comfortably over 400.
And nobody out, by the way. And here you see Prince Fielder at the plate.
Nowhere to put him.
You don't think he's going to swing for the granny?
Yeah, there's nothing. Why not?
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing to lose. Nothing at stake right now.
Now, this could really, this game could allow Fielder to just take off as you look at the runners. Couldn't hold up. A little anxious 1-1, but they get Braun and Fielder both clicking, and a rotation that seems to have settled down.
I guess when you think of real one-sided thumpings, both with the pitching and the hitting, you have to go back to Rennie Stennett's game, the 7-hit game when the Pirates beat the Chicago Cubs 22-0. Stennett had the 7 base hits. John Candelaria was the pitcher for the Pirates that day.
Well, you always talk about when the Pirates are taking it to an opponent, how you always remind everybody, hey, this is great, have fun, but be professional about it.
Yeah, don't show anybody up. That's the one thing you don't want. You saw that thing with Fielder and his teammates after the home run. I mean, that is showing people up.
Fielder goes down on strikes to the delight of this crowd.
Yeah, because you know, this thing gets turned around after Houston. The Pirates go to Milwaukee, whether you're home or away. If you get shown up, we talk about that file, and there are files that you remember certain things, good, bad, that players keep track of on the plus side and the minus side. That creates those files.
Craig Counsell, always a professional. This veteran who hit a grand slam in the first inning on Sunday against the Nationals, part of that 10-run inning. And this into center field for yet another base hit. 2-run score. This 3-game series, the Brewers taking it to the Pirates, leading it now 13-0 in this one. And maybe historic, as I'm sure the Pirates PR department searching through the books.
Yep, get the book, get the book. And not the famous saying, there was an incident, I don't know how many years ago, something happened to the Cincinnati Reds. All you could hear in the background on the broadcast was Joe Nuxhall saying, get the book, get the book.
Find out.
For where that stands historically in the charts. Get the book. After the game, ask Teak. Yep, please, Teak, have some answers for us.
Yeah, what do you got for us, Teak?
We're going to do the asking this time.
Yeah.
Lock yourself in, Teak. We're gonna ask you some things.
Edmonds, 2 for 4, 13 runs, 18 hits. I mean, at this stage, you have to believe this is a first, being outscored 29-1 in a 3-game series at home. First in a long time.
You know, and at this stage in this ball game, Greg, it really doesn't do any good. It knocks somebody down. This game is so out of hand.
Yeah.
You might want to look ahead to the series that's going to be in Milwaukee, not to hit people, but just protect your pitching room a little more. It has nothing to do with hitting batters. It's nonsensical to do it now. It serves no purpose. Goodbye.
Oh boy. How about this game? This is incredible. Jim Edmonds hits a 3-run homer. It's his first as a Brewer. It is 16-0 in the 7th inning. It's the 4th home run of this game by the Brewers, who've out-homered the Pirates in the series 8-0. Boy, you thought it was bad in the first 2 games, 8-1 and 8-0. How about 16-0?
It is approaching the Pirates-Cubs game.
From last year, you mean?
No, the 22-0 game.
Oh, that one. You're right. Where the Pirates won 22-0. Take another look.
You know, you get the crowd mentality now. It's like a train wreck. You can't take your eyes off it.
You're right.
It's fascinating.
This one a long run. Wow. On a 1-2 pitch, Contreras doubles.
It's just a feeding frenzy. That's the only way you can describe it. 16 runs on 20 hits.
You know, the Diamondbacks scored 13 runs in the 4th inning on Sunday the 11th in Phoenix. Took a 15-4 lead. Won the game 15-6. They ended up with 15 runs, a dozen hits. This is incredible. 16 runs, 20 hits.
As they say, it's one of those days. Thank goodness it's just one of those days.
Escobar, the 9th man to hit in the inning. He is 1 for 4.
Is it too late to draft anybody in the NFL in the draft today? Can we get?
Well, they're putting up an NFL type score, aren't they? The worst shutout loss ever against Pittsburgh. You have to go back to 1910. 18-0 Philadelphia on July 11th, 1910. 2 outs. This series, average per game. Kenny Maka. All these runs to go along with the good pitching.
Yeah, you know, there's so many cheap jokes you can make, so you don't want to get into that particular syndrome. Just keep chunking. Get on the other side of it. 1-ball game. You start again tomorrow night.
How happy is that man?
Wow.
Batting coach Dale Swain.
Yeah. break out the champagne for him on the way back to Milwaukee.
And again, not to, I'm sure Ken Maka, it won't be lost on him that the pitching's done such a good job too. So Rick Peterson also a happy man. I'm talking right now with Ryan Braun as Ken Maka,
who's not happy on the team right now.
A lot of smiles in that dugout. Not a lot of smiles in the stands. Popped it up. Cedeno makes the catch. Well, there's a happy fan anyway. 16-0 Milwaukee. Joe England going to stay in the ball game. Jim Edmonds, who checked out the Home Depot doing more on defense. Edmonds played a role defensively early in the ball game. The line drive by Ryan Church, robbing him of a hit. The Home Depot more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And of course, Jim Edmonds, for years, making highlight film style catches. Center field with the Angels, center field with the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, phenomenal stuff from Jim Edmonds. The Home Depot.
And he'll take over at first. Claudio Vargas, the new pitcher for the Brewers, and Jody Garrett takes over left field. So Kenny Maka calling off the dogs, saying, I think we got enough. A perfect opportunity for Kenny Maka to get Vargas out there, who has struggled early on. He's got a big cushion. It's an ideal scenario to let a guy get out there and try to figure it out. As you can see, the 10.38 ERA. Wolf with 6 scoreless innings, as we said, 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts.
One of the 6 hits belonging to Ronnie Cedeno. Leadoff double in the third and stranded. Thank Andrea Rich for sending up some blueberry muffins for us here in the TV booth. Take care of that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Knock it back with some arsenic.
2-2 on Cedeno.
That kind of day.
Whew.
Well, when you get down to Houston, say hello to Milo Hamilton for me. Make sure you tell him I was thinking about him.
Will do.
That's right, brother.
You bet I will, Steve.
Yeah. I saved organizations all over this league, and I can save yours.
Two and two on Cedeno. The count 3-2. Pirates trailing 16-0, out hit 26. Now, Steve has often said the guy that really has to stop the bleeding is the next night's starting pitcher. In this case, it's Paul Maholm.
And he will be challenged. Roy Oswalt scheduled to start for the Astros.
Don't know who the Pirates starter will be on Saturday, but we do know it's down to 3 now that Brian Burris was optioned down. There's Maholm to get the start tomorrow against Royo in Houston.
That's right. That's what the man calls him. Royo.
Holy Toledo, brother. 3-2 count on Cedeno. And strike 3 called. So we do know it will not be, as we said, Brian Burris on Saturday. Frustrated Cedeno barks at Hunter Wendelstedt. So it's going to be either Chris Jakubowskis, who is scheduled to start tonight. So if he goes, then it's down to 2. Either Kevin Hart or Brad Lincoln will start on Saturday. Lincoln pitched on Monday. Kevin Hart pitched last Sunday. And Aki Iwamura, a base hit. And everything positive draws kind of a Bronx cheer here. Traveling this season, take the Pirates with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv. See every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Pirates.com. Order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. It's a great thing to have, too. MLB.tv. Catch all the action all over the place. Andrew McCutchen, 1 for 3. And speaking of action, there is one other game going on, and that is at Target Field with the Indians leading Minnesota 7-1.
Trying to salvage a game out of their 3-game series. I believe the Twins won the first 2.
Minnesota off to an 11-4 start, while Cleveland is 6-8.
I think my next door neighbor, 2 doors down, got the first win in that series. Kevin Slowey pitching for the Twins after that wrist injury. Sidelined him most of the second half of last year after a great start.
Slowey off to a good start, 2-1 and a 1, or make that a 2.45 ERA. But the Twins, you know, John Roush ends up becoming the closer after Joe Nathan is out for the year with surgery, and Roush doesn't miss a beat. He has 6 saves and 6 chances, a 1.50 ERA.
That's the big man, isn't it?
Yeah.
John Roush?
Yep.
6'11", 6'10". Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes on McCutchen. 16 zip. Some believe, Steve, that, and I know you're not in this circle, but some believe that maybe the most overrated position in baseball is the closer, because you can find them. It's an easier position to fill than maybe any other position on that baseball diamond.
I'm on the other side of the fence. I think it's the toughest job in baseball.
3-2 count on McCutchen. Now some teams are in full agreement with you. I mean, we just played the Reds. Francisco Cordero, is he making what, $13 million a year?
there's both sides to that argument, and there's evidence to support both sides. And goes on. There are other people feel too. You can find one and plug somebody in there and they do a good job for a couple of years, but there's also can be a burnout position where after 1 or 2 or 3 years, it's a lot of heat. You're responsible for the ball game.
So for that reason, maybe you make changes every couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
This ball popped up. This will be the second out. McCutchen 1 for 4. In case you missed it, by the way, in the big leagues, Kevin Youkilis had a walk-off double in the 12th inning. The Red Sox beat the Rangers 8-7. Felix Hernandez, complete game victory, the 9-hitter. No earned runs, just the 1 run, and the Mariners beat the Orioles 4-1. Roy Halladay, another complete game. Shuts out the Phillies. The Diamondbacks, Cardinals benches clearing brawl. After Carpenter was hit by a pitch, Carpenters beat the Diamondbacks 9-4. Actually, brawl, maybe not the case. It was a
scrum.
Not even a scrum. A meeting on the baseball field, swing and a miss. They gathered, but no real punches were thrown. Benches emptied. 0-1 the count on Millage.
Well, it happens many times if you get one of your stud starters hit by a pitch, because he can get hit on the wrist or the arm or something, puts him out, becomes a big item.
Oh, 0-2. Up and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got some information that Carpenter got hit by the pitch and then stood up going into second base in a double play situation. There's one way to cure that. Whoever's taking the throw back to first base, that guy's right in line. If he's standing up, he's fair game.
Yeah, there's
you can drill him.
Some players over the years have done just that.
Drilled that guy.
Yeah.
If you want to stand up and try to disrupt my double play, well, here's the baseball.
Now Millage goes down swinging to end the 7th. Wandy Rodriguez starts on Saturday for Houston. The Pirates will name their starting pitcher in a day or two. And then on Sunday, it's Charlie Morton against Brett Myers. Now, really, you think about it, a pretty important series for a number of reasons for the Pirates. First of all, they got to show some signs that this rotation is going to become somewhat stable. As you take a look, Brendan Donnelly taking over. And the Saturday night starter, if Jakabauskas goes tonight in Indianapolis, and it's looking as though he will, then it's Hart or Brad Lincoln. So if Hart starts on Saturday, he wants to show that spring training was an aberration with all those control problems. If Brad Lincoln starts, we'll get a lot of attention there, the former #1 pick. Brad Lincoln, his first taste of the big leagues, home in Texas. And then Sunday, Charlie Morton starting. John Russell already asked if Morton is going to stay in the rotation. He says we haven't even discussed him not being in the rotation. But Morton, and everybody knows how important that start will be for him on Sunday. So an important series for Pittsburgh down in Houston starting tomorrow night. The Astros currently the worst hitting team in the league at .224. See if the Pirates pitchers can take advantage of that.
You have seen some ERAs take a hit today, as you would expect, with 16 runs given up, and Bill Hanrahan really takes a hit. 1 inning, 6 earned. Carrasco 1 inning, 4 earned. McCutchen 3 2/3, 6 earned. Ouch. Can't hide it. It's out there.
And popped up by Ricky Weeks. Jones makes the catch to start the 8th inning. Weeks has scored 3 runs, a couple of hits, both doubles. Carlos Gomez on base 3 times. He scored 3. John Rayner has taken over in center field for the Pirates. Roll 5 pick, John Rayner.
So far, we've avoided the mistake of just looking quickly, and John Wayner. Nobody's done that yet. So far, so good.
Give us time. 3-0 the count on Carlos Gomez. John Wayner will join us on the road trip.
I hope we can get this thing squared away.
Yeah, because you have not done your job here.
Very bad
I
series.
tell you, Steve.
Very bad series.
You know, and I'm just looking at a website here, Steve, because I think it's real intriguing. The Pirates know who is going to start already on Saturday. They know that. It's either, as we said, it's down to Jakabauskas, who was signed as a free agent over the winter, was in spring training with the Pirates. It's either him or Kevin Hart or Brad Lincoln. Well, according to the Indianapolis website, they have now pulled Jakabauskas, and he is no longer starting tonight. Instead, it's Jeff Karstens. So
guess what?
It looks as though Chris Jakabauskas will start in Houston on Saturday night. As Jody Garrett comes to the plate for the first time. Jakabauskas was with the Seattle Mariners last season, made 35 appearances, made 8 starts. Ball 1 on Jody Garrett. One ball, 1 strike. As we're looking to fill with some oddities, so we're also told, Steve, that as of today, there's not been one rain out in the major leagues.
There you have
well,
it.
We're not expecting rain here today. Were you worried? 2-1. It won't rain in Houston, brother. We can guarantee you that. And then the Pirates go to Milwaukee, where they have the roof.
And then it never rains in Southern California.
They had a rain delay in San Diego the other night, but no rain out. Three and one on Garrett. Not one baseball game has been postponed because of inclement weather.
Wow.
That's got to be a first this late in the year. 3-1 on Jody Garrett, a one-time Pirate.
What about AAA?
Yeah, there have been three.
AAA?
Three at the AAA level. Pete Thoma's neighbor's son's Little League game was postponed last week, so there is one.
You're going to make it up August 12th as part of a 5:05 doubleheader.
I still don't know who's going to pitch that game yet, by the way. Claudio Vargas, the pitcher, will bat. This is Fielder's spot in the batting order. Prince Fielder did his damage. And so far, his home run leading off the second is all that this Brewers pitching staff has needed to this point. Vargas looks like he wants no part of this at bat, with his club leading 16-0. And just 6 more outs to get, and they'll head back to Milwaukee, these Brewers. And there you have it. Head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 16-0. Receives a day FSN baseball prize pack. Be sure to sign up for the monthly drawing at FSNinsider.com. Do it right now. FSNinsider.com.
Heading down the home stretch, Manny Parra coming into work for the Brewers after Vargas goes a scoreless inning with another hit, striking out 2. Randy Wolf, the first 6 scoreless on 6 hits. Just a little bit of early work from Manny Parra, 4 2/3 innings.
Parra made 27 starts last year for the Brewers. And Garrett Jones on base for the 3rd time, a single to center.
Well, to give you an idea what kind of day it's been, we're showing you instant replays of ground ball singles up the middle. And that's basically what we've had to work with.
That reminds me of a Gunner story.
It does indeed. Involving the cough button.
Yeah.
Down to the truck.
You can talk to the truck using the so-called cough button. Got communication down to the truck, and I guess the gunner didn't care for the fact that they were showing some routine double plays. Is that right?
Correct. Correct.
And he let the truck know it?
Yep. And I didn't know about that button. I said, well, we're off the air. That's it. The career is over. It's only the gunner could do. Prince.
You show me another routine double play.
I'm coming down there to that truck, and I'm going to...
Boppity bop, blop, blop. The saying goes in the truck, everybody's a producer. Everybody's a director. Everybody's a cameraman. Two and two on Church.
I don't remember ever being invited down to look at the truck.
Oh, it's an open invitation. That door's always open. How about when we caught Bob cheating on that
on the
trivia question a couple years ago?
That was
sad
classic. Sad day. I was embarrassed for him. Trying to get the answer to the trivia question by going down, sneaking around, sniffing around the truck.
And they actually caught him on tape. Security cameras.
I guess they're all over the place, aren't they? Those cameras.
Yeah. There he is. But claims he never cheated, even though the evidence was there. Always watching. Church strikes out. 1 out of the 8th. And now John Rayner. Hard to predict whether Rayner is going to stick on this big league club all year.
But that's the criteria for the Rule 5 guys. They need to stay in the big leagues. Donnie Veal last year.
Year before that, Evan Meek.
And the Pirates struck a unique deal with the Rays to hold on to him.
That can happen. You work out a trade with.
Because if you don't want to keep him, you got to offer him back to the original team.
1 ball, 1 strike. Rayner Memphis, Tennessee native. A 9th round pick of the Florida Marlins in 2006. Last year in New Orleans at AAA hit .257 with 6 homers and 36 RBIs. Stole 19 bases, caught 8 times. And now 1-2. Showed real promise first 3 years of pro ball. Single A and Double A levels, but regressed a bit at AAA New Orleans last year. And he goes down. John Rayner is a strikeout victim, announced Delwyn Young. Pirates hoping to get Andy LaRoche back over the weekend against Houston. In the meantime, Delwyn Young tonight gets his 3rd straight start at third base. Made a start there earlier this season, an appearance at third base. Actually, that was on Saturday night against the Reds. For Delwyn Young, it was his first start as a professional at third base. His very first start there Sunday, the 11th in Arizona, and then again another start over the weekend. As he bounces this one weekly to weeks on to first, and that does it. To the 9th inning, 16-zip. Washington, nor in the first 2 games of this series. And they had a day off Monday, of course, so he's gone 6 days without pitching. Octavio Dotel, again, just getting in some work here. The batter, Craig Counsell.
And there's Mr. Hoffman.
The Pirates have used Daniel McCutchen, DJ Carrasco, Javier Lopez, Hanrahan, Donnelly, and now another hit. Off Dotel. McCutchen gave up 6 runs in 3 2/3. Carrasco 4 runs in 1 inning. Lopez a scoreless 6th. Hanrahan gave up 6 in his 1 inning of work. Donnelly a scoreless 8th.
All-time saves leader.
Edmonds is a triple shy of the cycle.
You know, there are some players that we've seen enough, Greg, where they just have those physical mannerisms. You don't even have to know a name or a number. You just know that it's a particular player. Edmonds has those mannerisms, that body language.
Certainly an air of confidence about him. Jim Edmonds. Toward left center field. And Edmonds, if that stays in, oh, no. Edmonds was a triple shy of the cycle. That ball bounces into the seats. And of course, had he booked it from the get-go in the second inning and made what should have been a triple, that would have been the cycle.
Got that uppercut power. No real urgency to get out of the box. He knows it's 2 bases. So he has raised his batting average from 289 to probably around 340 in one game. That's what can happen with the averages this one year. And you just don't know what the final number is going to be today. That's the only thing.
Well, how about this, Steve? The Pirates bring their infield not all the way in, but 3/4. We talked about this on the radio side last night. That's very unusual in a 5-0 game, let alone a 16-0 game. But the argument is, if you're Dotel, maybe save him from an earned run or 2. On the other hand, the ball gets through the infield. Chance for 2 runs to score, though. Of course, the Brewers kind of calling off the dogs. You wouldn't think Brad Fisher would wave Edmonds on anything but a gap shot.
Yeah, both parties just trying to get on the other side of this game right now.
But if the Pirates were really trying to get on the other side of it, the infield would be back. Catch going to be made by Rayner, and Counsell will tag and score. Sacrifice fly for Coteras. 17-0. Well, post game coming up next. Not soon enough with extended highlights and analysis. Plus, Kent DeColvey ready to answer your questions and break down key plays. Pirates post game is next on FSN. Rally cap. The Rally Green Day cap. Well, Steve, what are you going to do for the next 10 days? Regroup?
Yes, I'm going to just go to a debriefing.
Figure out what went wrong?
I'm going to go to a debriefing clinic. Actually,
now you do have something planned, don't you? You're going back to Connecticut for a good cause.
Yeah, my nephew is on the list to get a double lung transplant, and folks back home, a little town that he's from, firemen are putting on a fundraiser Saturday, so we're going to go back for that. And I actually have a little bonus too before the fundraiser on Saturday. My little league, the little league field named after me. We're going to throw out the first pitch. Guess what? The Brewers add on.
So you'll throw out the first pitch on Saturday?
On Saturday for our little league up in Canaan, Connecticut, Canaan Falls Village Little League, and then head up to Sandusville, Massachusetts, where the fire department's going to do a fundraiser. Real nice thing up in that area.
We did a local 65 Roses Club event. Cystic fibrosis. Paul Stabile and the folks from Cystic Fibrosis put that on at McFadden's across the ballpark.
That's what my nephew is suffering from, CF, and he's in an advanced age, and hoping everything works out.
One ball, one strike on Joe Englert. Well, you are looking at an historic game in Pirates history. 124 years. One other time where they shut out 18-0 in a game. And you got to go back to 1910. Philadelphia shut out Pittsburgh July 4th, 1910. July 11th, make it 1910. $18-0. Look at that. 55 run differential. That's the worst in baseball.
And you know what will happen all around baseball. And the Pirates are 7-8. One more win tomorrow night, they'll be at 500 in spite of all this, which is quite amazing, but that's the possibility that exists.
Strike three. It is unusual to see that type of run differential and still hovering close to 500. The Orioles run differential 35, and they are 2-14. Some would say that's, that makes some sense. But as you say, Steve, too, you win tomorrow, and you're back to 500. And you can throw all those numbers out.
The rest is details.
Yep.
At this point. But you know you can't continue on this track. But you do something pretty unusual by getting a win tomorrow night.
Wow. Anytime it seems they put the bat on the ball, it's a hit. Ricky Weeks with his third hit. "24 hits. That July 11th, 1910 game at Forbes Field. The Phillies out-hit the Pirates 20-3.
And scored 19 runs. That's pretty efficient.
Wouldn't you know it? The third out instead is an error on Iwamura.
The only thing we haven't seen today is an error.
Iwamura's third error of the season. Jody Garrett, who hit a pinch hit home run. In last night's game.
We don't have to tell you what would happen if he hit this ball over the fence. It would be a revisit of that 1976 game between the Cubs and the Pirates.
22-zip, that's right.
My goodness.
Lord help us and save us.
Cried Mrs. McDavis.
Cried Mrs. Doug Davis. 3-0. Oh my. Oh my. 19-0. If it stands a shutout, it's a record in 124-year history of the Pirates.
And I'm going to go home, Greg, and all my friends and buddies are back there going to say, hey, your Buccos are doing all right. Wow.
This is the pitcher, Manny Parra. They scored 21 runs against the Tigers in 1996.
Oh, my goodness.
And now the fans, you said it's kind of like a train wreck. I mean, it's gone now absurdly to the point where the fans are cheering for the Brewers. It's a base hit for Parra and a 20-0 lead.
Craig Counsell started this inning off. Daniel McCutcheon got the Brewers out 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. Since then, it's been a disaster.
Wow. 20-0. Historic day in Pittsburgh. The great thing about baseball, though, that is so true, this will mean nothing tomorrow when that first pitch is thrown.
Save it.
In Houston. Save it, Mrs. McDavis. You don't want to hear that stuff, huh?
I know that's true. My goodness. Has Trevor Hoffman ever been in this kind of a baseball game?
No, I'll answer that without looking up a book.
Get the
20-0? No, Hoffman has never been involved in
Not
a 20-0
eligible for a
game.
save.
Never. I'm going to go on a limb and say in his entire professional career, never has he been involved in a 20-0 game.
I guess I don't have to ask you to look in the book and see if he qualifies for a save.
Well, let me look. This is one for the books. This is a record-setting day.
You run out of things to say.
It's absolutely a record-setting day. A 20-0 shutout. The Pirates have been playing baseball for 124 years.
They booed Craig Counsell for bouncing out to short. The all-time saves leader is out there. Was it 594? I threw all my paper away.
Jaramillo and the Pirates really just now looking just to break a shutout. That 1910 Pirates team, the previous record holders for most lopsided shutout, featured Fred Clark as their manager. It came the year after they won the World Series. Honus Wagner, shortstop.
Second year of that brand new ballpark, Forbes Field.
That's right. Pitching staff of Howie Kamnitz, Babe Adams, Lefty Leafield, and Kirby White.
Was Johnny Gooch the catcher?
George Gibson.
Yeah, well, he was the backup.
How would you know Johnny Gooch?
Check it out.
No.
Catcher for the Pirates.
Patty O'Connor and Mike Simon were the backups in 1910. And this will be the second out. Now Argenis Diaz will get his second major league at bat. He was called up from the minor leagues yesterday. And in his first big league at bat last night, grounded out in the 9th inning. As we said earlier, the Pirates looking as though they will go with Chris Jakubowskis Saturday night, as he was scheduled to go tonight for Indy. Jeff Karstens now scheduled to start at AAA Indianapolis, which would indicate that the Game 2 starter in Houston is Jakubowskis, with Mahalam tomorrow and Morton on Sunday. How about getting your first big league hit off Trevor Hoffman, the all-time saves leader? Give us something to root for here,
That'd be
Argenis.
pretty neat. Yeah, we've been searching.
Nope. And that is it. A record-setting day. Most lopsided shutout in Pirates history. 20-0. Steve, your thoughts?
I've run out of thoughts. You know, you walk the line of not getting silly about it. Just you got to show everybody what's happening, because that's what it is. But boy, is it good to draw the curtain on this game. There's really no good news this particular Thursday afternoon. It was just a thumping, completes a 3-game thumping, and there's not much more you can say about it.
Well, that indeed will do it for game coverage. Next telecast tomorrow night from Minute Maid Park in Houston. Buccos open up a 3-game set against Brad Mills' Houston Astros. That's Brad Mills' Houston Astros. Paul Mahalam against Roy Oswalt. Coverage begins. Trib Total Media Pirates pregame show at 7:30. Tim Nevert, John Wayner bringing you the call starting at 8. Right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. For Steve Blass and our entire FSN crew, Greg Brown saying thanks for watching. Penn Senators tonight, Game 5 later on, and Pirates post game begins right now in 3 hours and 25 minutes, 20-0, the final.